Oh. Hello, everybody, guys. We're going to start our webinar in 5 minutes. Hello, everybody, guys. I hope you are able to see my screen. And let me welcome you at the 4th day of our OroCommerce webinars. Today, we are going to check the pricing topic. In scope of this topic, we are going to see what are prices on OroCommerce, how do they work, how they're organized, and how to use and customize them. But before that, let me remind you that last Thursday, we have checked the products and catalogs together with our catalogs. And today we're going to see how to set prices for the products inside these catalogs and how to combine them together in order for customer to buy the products using the correct prices. Just a reminder, we have a Slack channel. I have posted a link to it to the Zoom group chat. You can always use it and ask questions there. And now let us start our first topic, which is called pricing. So what is pricing in OroCommerce? Pricing or the price management in OroCommerce allows you to set up a product prices for different websites, customers, groups, customers. You may set up a fallback between these groups. You may set up a different pricing strategies. You may assign prices for newly added products automatically. Of course, you can do it manually. Of course, you can use import and export in order to do that. You can schedule temporary, permanent price changed. For example, if you have Black Friday, you have some kind of new Christmas discounts, you can do that. And you can create or even override the automatically assigned prices with the manual adjusted values if you have such a need. So there are several things which we're going to talk about in scope of this topic. These are currencies, these are product prices, price lists, price attributes, pricing strategies, product assignment route, and price calculation rules. We're going to check this topic one by one. And let us start from the first one, which is currencies. Currency, as you can guess by the name, is just a representation of some kind of real currency in Oro application. Each currency has its name, for example, US dollar or euro. Each currency has a code, USD, for example, or euro. For euro, it has a symbol. Everybody knows the symbol for the US dollar or euro. For the enterprise version, we have multiple currencies. So you may have multiple currencies. You can specify the exchange rate between them. And you may also set one of the currencies as a basic currency. Let us see how it works and let's see how to use it. So first, let's go to the management console and see the currencies on the enterprise version. Here, you can see a list of the supported currencies all over the application. Pay attention, this is a system configuration, global system configuration, not configuration for the website. And here you may specify, add or remove several currencies. Currently, we have 4: US dollar, euro, British pound, and Ukrainian hryvnia. Each has a name, code, and symbol. And you may also optionally set the conversion rate from and to and for each currency. Pay attention that this rate is strictly informational field, which may be used in the customization if you want to. And by default, it does not affect prices when you are switching between the currencies at the storefront. If you're using the community edition version, you have only one currency, but if using the enterprise version, you may have multiple currencies, and you may also associate them with different websites. So let me open this website first. And now we do not have any currency switcher. It's on the top right corner usually. And what we can do right now, we can enable the currencies for a specific website. Let us go and check the system configuration now for the specific website. Let's try to find it here. Yeah, here we have the pricing section in the system configuration onto the catalog. And what we have here we have default currency selector. Let's keep it US dollar. And we have enabled currencies. Here we can pick some currencies from global list of the currencies and set that this website will use these currencies. I'm going to use two, US dollar and euro. Let us save this option, and now let's go to the storefront. If everything was done properly here, we should be able to see the currency switcher, and we indeed do see that. When user switches between the currencies, application may change the value inside the PLP, product listing page, PDP, product detail page, shopping list, pretty much everywhere all around the application. Currently, I have the price list set with the exact same value, so when I'm switching between the US dollars and euro, they have exactly the same value, but only because I have exactly the same value set for these different currencies. Later, we'll be able to see how to change it and how to customize these values. Let us continue. So next thing, and this thing is important, is called the product price. So product price in OroCommerce is a combination of 5 parameters. First, obviously, it's a product. So it's a product which price to assign to which products we are buying or selling. And the product, this price will be used at the storefront to actually buy something. Next thing is the price list. So price list is just a group of prices. You may have, for example, a price list for manufacturer, or price list for a customer, or price list for a customer group, or any other group of the prices. And this group is called price list. Then we have quantity. OroCommerce supports tier pricing. So tier pricing is when you, for example, if you're buying one product, you have price X. When you're buying 5 products, you have Y. When you're buying 10 products, you have price Z. And this quantity allows you to tell which quantity threshold is going to be used for your price, for your product and your price list. Then we have product unit. We have already seen this one in scope of the product topic, but let me remind you, product unit or unit of quantity is the measure of quantity you may use in OroCommerce. For example, when you are selling a wine, you may sell it in bottles, in boxes, in containers, in pallets, and so on. And these things, these units of measurement, boxes, bottles, and so on, are product units. Then we have currency, and we have already seen this one. And finally, we have the actual price value, like for example, $10, 15 euros, and so on. And combination of 5 parameters, product price list, quantity, product unit, and currency is unique. You cannot have the same price value for the same product, same price list, same quantity, product unit, and currency. You have to change at least one of these factors in order to set a new price. It's usually enough, but it really depends on your case. In most cases, if this combination, if this uniqueness bothers you, in this case, you need to create a new price list and keep your prices in separate group or a separate price list. Product prices can be defined on the user interface, either on the product list page or can be defined either on the product list page or directly in the product page. As we have already seen, it supports tier pricing, and all the information about pricing is stored on the pricing bundle, and we're interested right now in entity called product price, which basically is just an entity which stores these 4 values: product, price list, quantity, product unit, currency, and actual value. Let us have a look how it works and see what we can do with it. So first, let's check the storefront. So here we have product listing page, and here we can see the prices, and pay attention that we already have a tier pricing out of the box in the demo data. So we can see that price for 1, 10, 20, 50, and 100 items is different. And here we have the quantity, we have the unit price, and we have item. And item here is the product unit or unit of measure. In our case, it's item. You may have other quantities for other units of measurement, and you may have also different tiers, but one way or another, you will be able to see them there. Also, if you are entering the quantity value, your price, this value, the blue one, can be changed depending on the quantity you have entered. So let me enter here 100, and now you immediately can see that listed price is the same. So it's price for one item, while your price is different. This is different because I have changed the quantity, and now it shows me the price for 100 pro items. If I'll change it, for example, to 80, I'm going to have a different price, and this is a price for the 50 products. So every time you're seeing price like that, it means price per unit or price per item. And you may also change the unit of quantity, and it may happen that you do not have any prices for such unit of quantity, which is currently the case, and you cannot see the price for this unit because there are no prices for this unit, for this product in this price list. Of course, I can go back and change it to the item. In this case, prices will appear again. The same thing can be done on the product, can be seen on the product listing page, product view page. So here you can see the prices, you can see the quantity, and so on. And you can see the units, you can see the quantities. All the information is available here. You have to be logged in order to add the products to the shopping list. Gas shopping list is not enabled. That is why you cannot put a quantity here, and you cannot see the actual price. But if I will log in, let me do that. Yep, I'm logged in now. Yep, so now you can specify here unit, and now you specify here a quantity. And of course, price is visible on all the parts of the application, on the shopping lists, in the checkout, in the order, and the quick order form. We are going to see these areas later. But one way or another, all these areas contains a price, which most probably came from one of the price lists. Let us continue. Next important thing we have to talk about is the price list. So price list is the core entity in the pricing component. Price list is the group of prices, and it's basically matches the product quantity with their prices in one or more currencies. So remember those combinations of 5 items? Price lists is one of those 5 unique parameters. Price lists can be either static, entered manually, imported from CSV file, added in some other way manually, or it can be auto-generated. In this case, it can be generated automatically based on some kind of parameters or rules we can see a little bit later. Or we may also have a mixed price list where we have both static and auto-generated prices. Price lists may rely on key parameters or indicators like product availability, recommended price, production costs, and so on. Again, we are going to see most of this information, most of these customizations a little bit later in scope of this topic. What are price lists and what they contain of? So price list, as I have already mentioned, is just a group of prices which has some kind of common purpose. And price list contain of the name, basically just how you want to call it, currencies. So price list may contain prices in multiple currencies. Whether this price list is active or not, so it's basically just a flag or checkbox. List of the schedules, which allows you to make price list available or unavailable during some periods of time. Product assignment rule, price calculation rule, and all this thing is stored as the entity called price list in the pricing bundle. I'm going to skip product assignment rule and price calculation rules for now, and let's concentrate on the first parameters here. Let's try to add a new price list at the management console to see how it works. So in order to add price list, we have to go to the sales price list menu item, click create price list button, and specify here name of the price list. Specify here currencies. Again, I'm going to use $2 and euro. Here we have the active flag, which allows you to tell that whether this price list is active or inactive. And we have a list of schedules. List of schedules can tell us, allows us to tell when this price list will be active. If there are no schedules or all schedules is empty, it means that this price list will be always or constantly active. So let us do it. And here we can see the price lists, and as you can see, we can have quite a lot of different things which we can do with this price list. So first of all, we can add a product price here. We can add product price either from the price list page or directly from the product page, but let us start from this way. So here we have a product, here we have a quantity, here we have a unit. Pay attention that unit depends on the product because each product has its unit. And then I have a price. And as you can see now here in the product prices table, we have new price. Let's add one more for the same product, but the different currency. We need XS56, quantity 1, item 1, price 8 euros. So now in this price list, in the same price list, we have two prices for the same quantity, same unit, but different currencies. We cannot add the price for the same product, same quantity, same unit, and same currency because this combination is unique in order to be able to always to understand which price is used in each specific use case. We can enable disable price list. Here we have a button for it. We can duplicate price list. So if we want to copy it and, for example, modify it one way or another, we can recalculate price list. We're going to check what it is when we're going to talk about the combined price list. We can import and export price lists, just in case if you want to import or export data from the CSV file. So in this case, you can simply import data and download template and import them. You can edit price list, we can remove price list. So these standard CRUD operations here. By the way, there is a second way how you can add a product price to the price list, and this is from the product page. So let me open the view page of some product. Here, for example, we have pricing labeler, and let us edit this page, and let us try to add price from this specific page. So in order to add a price, I have to go to the product prices section. Here we have already lots of prices, and we can also see our test price list prices, the new price we have added. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a new price. Again, for the same price list, but now I'm going to use a different quantity. I'm going to use quantity 10, $10. And for example, if customer wants to buy this product for more than 10 items, more than 10 pricing labels, the price will be 9 instead of the 10. Let's save it. And now we can see that everything is set. It took a little bit of time, mostly because they have too much prices there, and it's not really recommended to do it in production, as long as you have lots, that's a big amount of prices, but it still will work. And we also have a product prices table on the product view page here. You may filter by the price list, you may filter by quantity, unit, value here. Let us filter by the price list because this is what we have done. And here we already can see these three values, and we even have a small informational widget here, informational button, which allows us to navigate directly to the appropriate price lists. And so here we see these three prices too. Price list schedules, we have seen this one already. Price list schedules allows you to activate or deactivate some price list automatically, for example, based on your promotion campaign and based on some kind of discount and so on. You have daytime from, you have daytime to, and you may have multiple slots there. All the information about these slots, all the information about the schedule is stored in the Oro pricing bundle in the price list schedule. Important fact about the price list schedules that they are activated and deactivated via the cron. So first, let us check again the edit page of our price list. So let me remind you, here we have those schedules. And just in case, if you want to check how it works under the bonnet, you can always go to the code. There is a command line called OroCron price list schedule, which basically enables and disables appropriate price list based on the schedules set for those price lists. Next interesting and important thing is a price attribute. So price attribute is additional price-like values, which is not a real price. It's often used in the rules to automatically calculate some prices. For example, we have some kind of price attribute, for example, MAP or MSRP, and we want to add additional margin, let's say 5%. In this case, it's a great example of using price attributes. Or it can be margin itself, like for example, whether we are adding $1, $2, or $3 on the top of the main price and so on. So pay attention that product attributes by itself is not a product price, it's just a price-like value or currency-based value. It's often used in expression. Again, it may have a multiple currencies. In the Enterprise Edition and the Community Edition, we have only one currencies. The good examples of the price attribute is MSRP or MAP. And I have also added one more price attribute called ERP price. So the price attributes are available under the product menu here. And as you can see, we have two price attributes called MAP, minimum advertised price, and MSRP, manufacturer selling recommended price. And there is also the third attribute called ERP price, which I added manually before the training. And this one represents that the price is coming from the ERP, but because it may not be used directly, you want to adjust it or give a discount on top of it and so on, you cannot use it. And that is why we have added it as a price attributes. Then we have the rules expression, and here's where things are going to start a little bit crazy. Rules expression allows you to generate prices. In our case, this specific part of the rule expression allows you to tell which products will take part in the automatic price generation. So in the rules expression, you may use empty properties stored in the table columns, for example, product SKU, for example, some kind of parameters. You may use operators and literals. So technically, this is a small language. We're using here the syntax is similar to the Symfony expression language. And talking about the real use cases, for the product, we have product attribute family, we have master catalog attributes, we have price attributes, and we also have a multiple price lists, which you can refer to in order to generate new prices. There is also a product assignment rule, which allows you to tell which products will be used during the price generation. For example, we can use either all of them or only part of these products. Products will be automatically get into the price list whether they match the criteria. And again, here we're using expression syntax language syntax. Product assignment rule is required for automatic price calculation. If you not put it, application will think that this is a manual price, not auto-generated price. And the good use case for it is the prices for a specific category. So let us try to do a generated price list to actually see how this thing works. Let's say that we have some default price lists. Here we can see 1, 2, 3 default price lists and our test price list. And let us assume that I want to have a default price list with some kind of margin on the top of it, just because I want to sell it a little bit for a little bit higher price in order to get some money for it. So what I need to do for it, I need to first basically create a price list. Let's go with default plus 5%, let's say. Specify the currency. I don't need any schedules. And here we have a product assignment rule. So this is a rule where we are telling which products will be taken part in this price list. I'm going to use all products. So will be rule like product ID greater than 0. And then we have product calculation rule. So product calculation rule is the rule which tells us how the value of the price is calculated. Here we have 3 fields on the top, price for quantity. So here we have the actual quantity. Here we have the unit. And here we have the currency. Pay attention that these 3 fields can be either set manually or can be replaced with an expression. So for example, for the currency, I can specify a currency from the another price list, and this is a trick you should use if you want to have the prices generated for every price from other price lists. So let's say I want to pick my additional price list or the basic price list, default price list, prices currency. I have an autocomplete here. I can do the same thing for the unit, prices unit. So here it is, and I also can do the same thing for the quantity. Quantity, yeah. Now we can specify how exactly do we want to calculate it, so the value of the product or price. So in our case, I'm going to set the value based on the different price lists. So I simply select it here, default price lists prices value, multiplying 105. In this case, we can telling that application has to generate a new prices based on the price from the price list number 1, which is default price list, multiplying 105, which means that I want to add 5% on the top. Condition is very similar to the product assignment rule. The only difference here that it will be applied only for this specific calculation rule. So here you can see that we have many rules, and each of these rules may have its own condition. Let's say you want to specify a different price value for the category 1, another price value for the category 2, and so on and so on. In this case, you will put this condition here. I will keep it empty for now. And priority simply tells us in which order these calculation rules will be executed. Let us try to save a price list and see if it works. Okay. So it was saved, and now pay attention to this message. The price list is currently being calculated. This is happening because most of the price list calculation logic is quite heavy, and it is done asynchronously by the message consumer. So let us try to refresh the page and see if we have any prices. And yes, we do. So here we have 460 records in this price list, and let me open the default price list just to compare the values. So here is my default price list. Let me pick some product and some currency. Let us say I want to use this product with this currency and order by quantity. And I will do the same thing here. Okay, so let us check. Here we have a quantity 1, which has a cost of 99.99. And here we have a generated value for it, 104.99. So exactly plus 5% on the top of it. And you may check the same behavior and same calculation logic for each of the quantities. Here, let's say for 100, we have 79.99. Well, here we have 83.99, which again, exactly the 5% more. Also pay attention that here now we have a price type called generated. So the generated price are sort of refreshed automatically by the application, and there is no point in editing them manually. And in fact, they are even not be visible on the product edit page, so you won't be able to edit them. While here I have the manual, and we can still edit these prices, let's say from here. Also pay attention that every time you are changing the price on the base price lists, it's automatically refreshed in all the related price lists. So let's say we want to change the price for this default value in our default price list. Let's say from 79.99 to, let's say, 69.99, $10 less. Okay, it's saved. It may not appear immediately here because it's happening asynchronously, but let us try. Yep. And now, as you can see, this value was changed too. So now it's 73.49. So it's exactly for 5% on the top of the standard price, which is $69.99. So this way you can play with price lists and build one price list based on another price list. The second common use case is to build a price list based on the price attribute. So just to remind you, we have a price attribute called the ERP price. And let us set this value for some specific product. Let's pick women's white slip-on clogs. So just to be sure, yeah, we don't have any ERP price here. And what we are going to do right now, we are going to set this value for this specific product. Okay, so here is our product edit page. And let's pick some values here. Let's say we have 15 for set, and we have 18 United States dollars for set. Again, like for the other attributes and prices, you may skip the values if you do not have them here. Save and close. Okay, my value was set. We can see it now here. So here's my values for the ERP prices. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to create a price list, which based on the value from that product attribute. Create price list. Again, the same two currencies. And let us say it will be ERP price -1. Again, it's a little bit silly, but still just to demonstrate how it works. Why not? Again, I'm going to use the same condition, product ID greater than 0 to cover all the products. And what I'm going to do right now, instead of using the price list, I'm going to use a product ERP price, and then I'm going to use currency, value, and so on. Here we need ERP price unit, and here we need quantity. Here it is. I'm going to calculate it as value -1, product ERP price value -1, without condition, again with the same priority. And let us try to do it. Saved. Let us wait a little bit for it to be recalculated. Yep. And now we can see the values from the product I have just set. Just remind you, we set there 15 euros and 18 USD dollars, United States dollars. And here now we have 14 and 17, which is exactly -1. However, this condition is a little bit silly. And what we're going to change now, we are going to change the value currency works here. And to do that, we are going to add a new calculation rule. So let us say it will be -1 for the US dollars, but it will be -2 for euro. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm simply going to copy everything except for the currency. Currency will be euro. Quantity here. Now it will be -2. Priority will be 2. And let us try to set this here. And you immediately can see here that now it's not 14 and 17, now it's 13 and 17. This is happening because I have two different rules. One for the price in United States dollars, another one for price in euro. And for the US dollars, we're decreasing it by 1, and for euro, we're decreasing it by 2. That is why we're seeing these values here set like that. That's the main idea how it works. Talking about other things which you can use in the rules, in fact, there are quite a lot of the fields and quite a lot of expressions that you may use there. Let's check the autocomplete and see how it works. So talking about the condition, yes, you may either specify the some price list and use the values from it, which we have already seen, or if you're working on the product level, you may pick any of the relations or parameters from the product. Here we have attribute, family, availability day, back order, brand, category. For example, here we have color, blah, 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 which is our custom attributes we have added previously, created at ERP price, featured flag, ID, inventory source, and so on and so on. So all these parameters, all this configuration can be used both in rules and in the calculation expression. Here we only have to specify one of the things, while there we can specify anything we like. And yeah, so we have already seen price calculation rules in action. So price calculation rule contains of the quantity, which supports expression, product unit, which also supports expression, currency, which also supports expression. There is a price value calculation rule, which tells us what the exact value we are going to have there, and price rule condition, which tells us when to be applied. Price priority makes sense if you have multiple rules, and as I have mentioned, recalculation may take some time, especially if you have a lots of prices in your main price list. In this case, recalculation may take even several minutes if you're having like several thousand prices, because application has to trigger a heavy SQL query in order to calculate these prices and save them to the new price list. Here we have a couple of additional examples which you may use to see what else you can do with the price calculation in the OroCommerce. Let's have a look at them. So here we have example about the automated price lists. So for example, here we have condition product category equals 1 or product category equals 5, which allows us to pick products only from the two categories with ID 1 and 5. We may also specify we can also depend on the price attribute parameters like MSRP here, we have a value here, we have currency, we have status for the product. We may set fixed value. For example, if talking about the price, we may set the fixed value price. We may use some kind of formulas. For example, here we are multiplying MSRP on margin and adding 5 on the top of it, and the value is calculated based on this formula. And yeah, here we have more examples. You may check them just in case you want to, but generally this is what we have seen already. You may calculate them based on the price list using some kind of formula. You may use parameters from the product. For example, here we have product SKU matches tag 1. So here we have some kind of, we may use wildcards here. We may use dates. We have did this one already. We may specify values in multiple values in using the in operator, and so on. Let's have a small break here and let me answer all the questions from chat. The first question, can I add an option of configurable product to a scheduled price list? Yes, you can, because technically each option, each variant of the configurable product is a separate product, and you may have it inside any price list, not only the scheduled one. So let us try to do it. So just to remind you, we have 3 product variants, 1, 2, 3. And you may add them to any price list you like. For example, let me add them to the my test price list. Why not? Add product price. So here we have product tag 1, quantity 1, item unit price, let's say $0.5. And so we can see here the price. In a similar way, you can add as many product variants as you want. Pay attention that in this case, if you will have the scheduled price list, product will not disappear. Customer simply will not be able to buy it because it will have no price. Is there simply a way to add a big amount of products to a price list that adding one-to-one? Yes, you have to use import and export. Here you can see import export buttons. They support CSV files, and we also have a command line command which you can use from the command line. Here it is, price list import command. It uses standard Oro import export engine. And if you want to, you can schedule importing of your prices on a regular basis using this command. Okay, next question. Is there a possibility to create an expression rule based on the cost price of the items? So basically, this is a good example of using the price attribute. So you may either depend on the price attribute or you may depend on the value on other price list. I think you are asking about the dependency on the price list. So technically, you can do something like that. So you may set a price list here. Let's say default price list. And you may check some field inside this price list. You may have the prices itself, so for example, price list, currency, and so on. But pay attention that all these rules in the very end will be compiled to the one SQL query. And in the very end, you have to make sure that your product will match this query. That's why if you're putting the rule, it usually makes sense to do it based on the product or based on the attribute, but not on the price list. But if you really want to, yes, you can do it. You have all the options here. You have all the parameters. You have list, for example, the assigned products. So if you want to filter the product on the one price list based on the products on the another price list, then yeah, you definitely can do it. Another question. Can multiple attributes be read dynamically from a file when an item is displayed to calculate a price? Item is displayed to calculate a price. If you are asking about getting data in real time from a file, we do not have such feature out of the box, but you may customize the pricing engine. There is a very nice interface. We're going to check it a little bit later. You may implement this interface, and then you indeed may load data dynamically from the file. However, if you're talking about the product price attributes using the built-in engine, no, they're stored in a database and they're used in the SQL queries, for example, to calculate the price lists like I have used here ERP price -1. So this one is using the ERP price value. And in fact, this expression is converted to the SQL. And that is why you cannot do that. You cannot join to the file. You can join to the table, to the database. How can I keep track of all different active price rules? So here you have it. You have the price list edit page, so you may check all the rules you have here. If you have too many rules, then perhaps you have to create some kind of registry, maybe just an XLS file, and put all the rules and all the conditions in the same place. Or perhaps if you want to, you may customize this price list grid, add a new column here, and for example, render in this column all the rules and all the expressions you have there. In this case, you'll be able to see all this information in this grid. How to apply MSRP rule and other price rule for the same product. It depends on what you want to do with it. The most common use case is to have two separate price lists. For example, one will be MSRP plus, let's say 5%, another one will be something else. Like for example, we had here discount, ERP price -1. But in this case, you have to be really careful what you're working with because there will be two price lists joined together and you have to make sure that condition is exactly right. That is why if you're doing generated price lists, it's in most cases makes sense to do it based only one price list. However, you can still do it. You can still put, like, say here ERP price value, while you can put here something else. You can put here something like price list, default price list prices value, let's say -2. So by doing that, we are technically extracting only on the required prices, only from this price list. Yeah, but you cannot obviously rely, depend on the values from the different attributes. That's why I want to set the unit here. Unit and quantity. Okay, the calculation is in progress. And as you can see, we have a totally different set of the products. Now we have all the products with euros. So this way you have some kind of mixed combined price list. One part for the US dollars is extracted from the price attribute. Another one for the euro currency is extracted from another price list. So you can do things like that, but in most cases, it makes sense to create a separate price list for them. Calculation rule attributes be based on the values read from the customer record. For example, discount code per customer, where customer A has one discount code, while customer B has a different code. Then the code A/B is sometimes to get a value code 5% MSRP, while B code gets 12% MSRP. You cannot do that on the price list calculation rule, mostly because price lists or neither products nor price list are aware of the customers. However, later we're going to see how to doing using the using the price list fallback, where you can assign specific price list to specific customer. And in this case, you indeed can do what you want. You just need to have a two price list for that. One price list for the customer A and one price list for the customer B. I hope, looks like I have answered all the questions we have for now. So let's have a 15 minutes break and let's continue in 15 minutes. Okay, guys, let us continue. So now, we're going to check what is price list fallback and how to use them. And we already had a question about how to assign a price list to a customer or how to use customer as part of the rule. And now we are going to check how to do that in real life application. So pay attention that for now, we did not discuss any relation between a customer or a buyer and a price list. And we have actually, you haven't checked the storefront. We haven't seen how our price lists are used at the storefront for now. And this is why we have a price list fallback, and this is what we're going to check now. There are four main levels of price lists: customer, customer group, website, and global. And each of the levels may have one or several price lists assigned to it. It means that this price list or prices from this price list will be used at the storefront. And then you may see prices from this price list either globally or per website or per customer group or per customer. And there are also fallbacks from these levels to other levels. For example, if there are no prices for a specific customer application, we'll try to find it for the customer group. If there are no prices for the customer group, it will try to find it by the website. If there are no prices for the website, application is going to check the global level. And only then, if there are no prices in any of these four levels, application will not going to show any prices at all. So let us check these levels one by one. Here we're going to start from the global price list. Global price lists which are set in the system configuration. Let's have a look at this place. So here is a global configuration, and here we have default price list section. You may have a multiple price lists here. Multiple price lists means that they will be merged. How exactly they will be merged, we'll check a little bit later, but one way or another, you may have multiple price lists. For example, you have 3 manufacturers, and each of these manufacturers selling its own products, and each of these manufacturer has price lists which have only these products. In this case, you can simply put these 3 price lists at this level, and then these prices will be by default added to all websites, all customers groups, and all customers. So they will be used everywhere. Next level. Next level is the website level. And there you can set the website, you can set price list on the website level on the website edit page. And there you may already have a fallbacks. You may have either the fallback to the global level, the system configuration level. So this is that arrow from website to a global. Or you can use current website. And in this case, it means you are going to block this level, which means that application is going to totally skip global level and use only 3 levels: customer, customer group, and website. Let us see how it works. So let's say we have a default website. Here we have a default website, and then on the edit page, we may specify a list of the price lists plus a fallback to the higher level. In order to test that, I'm going to create a, let's say, a new customer. Let me call it test. I'm going to create a new customer user in this customer. John Doe. Put some password. Specify our customer and set the buyer role. I think that's it. Yep, this is it. I have done that in order to have ability to do not fall back to any of the customer group price lists and use only the website price list. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go to the website level. I'm going to unassign all the price list from this website. And I keep here fallback to the config level, which means that application is going to use only one price list set at the global level. Let us save it and let us sign in to the storefront. Okay, I have signed in. I hope a calculation has been finished, and what we can do now, we can check the prices and we can see if our fallback works. So currently we have no prices set on the website level, and all the prices are coming from the system configuration. Here it is. And here we have default price list. Let's check this price list. Default price list, and let's pick some some product, sorry. For example, this one. We have currently the US dollar set as a currency. And we should have 19.99 per item. And yeah, this is the price. We can see that this product is 19.99. So we can see that now our price list is used properly. What we can do right now on the website level, we can cancel the price list fallback, and we can totally disable fallback from the website to the global. Sorry. Here. And I can put here current website only. By doing that, we are breaking the fallback to the global configuration, and we're going to use only price list set for this website. And because we have no price list, well, obviously customer has to have no prices. Let us check, and this is exactly what we are seeing here. We have not a one price here. Let me set some price just to be sure that it will be properly set. And let's use, for example, our default plus 5% price list we have created previously. Save. And now we can see the price list, and pay attention here. We have not 19.99 but 20.99, which is exactly plus 5%, exactly plus $1. The next level we have there is the customer group price list. And customer group price list is a little bit similar to the website price list, but with a couple of exceptions. First, it can be set per website. And second, you can either keep fallback to the website level, or you can break this fallback too. So currently, our test customer does not belong to any customer group, and we're going to fix it right now. So first, I'm going to create a new customer group. I'm going to call it test customers, and I'm going to add this customer test to this group. So here on the edit page of this group, we can see section called price list, and pay attention that here we have fallback for each of the websites separately. So by doing that, you might tell, for example, that the wholesaler on the European website is going to use price list from the manufacturer A, on the US website from the manufacturer B, and so on. And currently I have a fallback to the website price list, which means I'm going to use the same price which was there before, which is $20.99. Let me check it. Yeah, it's still there. Then, after I have done that, I can create a new price list. Create price list here. I need to use only US dollar. Let me call it test for this product. And I will add one price for this product. We have the items. Okay, so let's say I want to have it $15. And now, in order to use this price list, I have to assign it to appropriate group, which is our customer group called test customers. Here we have our test for this product. Save. And let us see. Yep, I already now see here $15 price from the price list assigned to a customer group. And at the same time, I have all the other prices assigned to products from the website level price list. If I'm going to disable fallback to the website and use customer group only, in this case, there will be no prices for all products except for this one. Let us try. Save. Refresh the page. And here you see exactly that. We have no prices here, no prices here, and the only one product with price is this one. This is the price coming from our test price list we have just created. And then there is another level of the customer, where you can do exactly the same thing. It's also edited or can be changed on the customer edit page. It also can be set per website. It also has a fallback, but now there's a final fallback level from the customer to customer group. And you can also disable it and keep only the customer price list. So let me assign some price to the customer. Let me create a new price list, another one. And let us do a discount. For example, this specific customer wants to have a discount and we can do that. For example, minus 10%. We're going to use a rule for it. Product. Again, I'm going to use all the products just to simplify this rule and expression. We need to use only dollars. We need to use only items. And we need to use only one for it. So now the only thing which is remaining for us is to specify the correct price list and put the correct value. Prices value 0.9. Condition, no condition, priority 1. Okay, let's wait a little bit. Yep, and now here we see price not 15 but 13.50. And now I'm going to assign this price list to our customer. Our customer is called test. I need to edit it and then assign this price list to this customer in the specific website. Okay, pay attention. Here we also have tabs for each of the websites. We also have fallback, which we can cancel. And we also may specify a price list here. Let's pick this one. Saved. And let's refresh the page. And now we can see it, $13.50 per item. So now application uses a price list from the customer. As you can see, it has higher priority because when the prices merged, this price wins. Now, perhaps you may ask yourself how application know which price list is important in application, how to get the correct price and how to get the correct value. So in order to do that, Oro uses a thing called pricing strategies, or you may call them pricing merge strategies, which tells application how to merge prices from different price lists. There are two strategies out of the box. The first one called minimal prices. It means that minimal prices always wins, no matter on what level it is. I'm going to demonstrate that by simply switching the price lists I have just created between the customer and the customer group. And I'm going to put smaller price on the customer group and higher price on the customer level. Let me do it. So here I have my customer. I'm going to associate the higher price to this customer. And I'm going to set a lower price for the customer group. Let us save. Let us refresh the page. And now we should be able to see the lowest price. Yeah, now we can see the price $13.50, which is coming from the customer group level because it has lower price. However, there is a second strategy called merge by priority. And merge by priority means that application is going to check level by level, starting from customer up to the global, and first found wins. Not the minimal, but first found. In order to do that, we have to check system configuration, pricing section. And here we have a pricing strategy. So pay attention that this is very important value and it's highly not recommended to change them in production because every time you are going to change this value, application has to calculate all the prices. Sometimes in fact has to be done manually in order to have a new values in order to use the totally different prices. That is why pricing strategy is highly recommended to set from the very beginning. Let's try it. We'll merge by priority. So now consumer is going to calculate a lot of prices and a lot of price lists. Sometimes it may be even faster to not wait for it here, but trigger it from the UI. But let us try. Oh, yeah. Now it's already working, great. So currently we are seeing that despite the fact that the minimal price was on the customer group level, application uses a higher price, 15, from the customer level. And this is why merge by priority works, because customer price has higher priority than the customer group price. Also, you may have several price lists on the customer group or any other level, and in this case these price lists also will be merged based on the priority. So here, for example, I can specify 2 price lists. This one. So currently we're seeing that the first price list has higher value, second price list has lower value. Let's save it. And now we can see exactly the same value because higher price list is on the top. Price list with the higher values on the top. But if we change the order of these price lists by doing that and put the price list with a lower value, now it should have higher priority, and now we should be able to see the price 1350, which is exactly the price we're seeing right now. Also pay attention that on the price list level, we have a special checkbox called merge allowed. Merge allowed means that application is going to merge prices for the same product from different price lists. So currently, because we do not have any fallback to the website level, because we have stopped it on the customer group level, we're seeing here only the quantity for the one item. However, if I'm going to reactivate that fallback, customer groups, and I will remove this one already because I do not need it any longer. Now application should set prices for all products based on the price list from the website, because we have a fallback to the website level here. Let us try. Yeah, now we're seeing all the prices again. And here, pay attention to the prices. We have price for quantity 1 from our special price list we created only for this test, but all other prices are coming from the default price list. Sometimes it may be acceptable, sometimes it may be not acceptable. So if it's acceptable, you have to put there a checkbox called merge allowed, but if it's not acceptable, so you're not allowing to mix prices from several price lists, you have to uncheck that checkbox on the required level, in our case on the customer level. This is test customer. You have to uncheck this checkbox to prevent merging prices from other price lists. I will also uncheck this one, or you can even remove it just to demonstrate this use case. And so now, if everything is going fine, instead of seeing prices from different price lists for the same product, we are going to see only the prices from one price list. This is exactly what we are seeing here. While all the other products showing us prices from the website price list, this one is showing us prices only from the customer price list without merging other prices for the same product from the website price list. This is how it works. This is the difference between merge allowed and merge not allowed. Finally, we have a combined price list. So this is a code level concept, and probably you have seen that every time we are changing something, I'll tell you that it will take some time for application to calculate that. And this is exactly what customer price lists are for. So customer price list is a sort of the database level cache, which stores all that chains of fallback in one price list. So if we're talking about our current use case with our customer and website, we have a very small chain, which is price list test for this product minus 10%. We have no price list on the customer group. Then we have a price list on the website level here, default plus 5%. And optionally, we may also have a price list on the global level. So how does it work? Oro automatically merges all supported combinations of these price lists and store them in the entity called combined price list, because all they're combined or merged together. This is why they're called combined. So you may find the entity called combined price list in the pricing bundle, but pay attention that application stores pretty much all the other entity with the combined prefix too, just because we have to cache all them too. So here we have combined price list, we have combined price, we have combined price list to website, which is the relations, we have combined price list currency, and so on and so on. So we have a standard entities which are stored on the management console or used in the management console called product price, called price lists, and so on and so on. And we have combined entities, combined price list, combined product price, combined price list currency, and so on, which are used only on the front store. So please remember that every time you are changing some price on the management console, it does not mean that you are changing the same price on the storefront, because based on some rules or based on the fallbacks or based on the calculation rules, it may or may not come to the storefront. And if it has to come, it may not come there immediately, because a recalculation of prices, so merging the prices and updating combined price lists, may take some time. That is why you have to always run your consumers in order for your pricing engine to work properly. The main idea of combined price list is to have a reasonable performance. That is why we're using this price list. As I have mentioned, it's some sort of cache which stores prices for the specific products. You may reuse the same CPL, so combined price list, for different customers. So let's assume that we have two customers that have exactly the same chain, price list A and price list B. So in this case, application will not need to generate two combined price lists. Application has to generate only one combined price list and use it for both customers. In most cases, combined price lists are generated automatically, which means that every time you are changing some price value, and or dependent value for the price attribute, it will be immediately recalculated, will be immediately sent to the message queue, so it has to be recalculated there on the fly. However, in some cases, especially if you really care about their performance, you may manually disable that thing and trigger manual recalculation only when you really want to. So let's assume that you're importing 100 different price lists, and you don't want the calculation be triggered 100 times. You want to trigger it only once in the very end. In this case, you may do it. There is a command line command called OroPrice list recalculate. Let us check it. And here we see a different additional options we may pass to this command. The first of all is all. It means applications go to calculate absolutely all the price lists, and this is exactly what is happening when you are changing the merge strategy. And in my case, it's a small demo instance, so it does take long, but if you are going to work it on the production, it may take several hours to calculate all the price lists, which may not be acceptable by the customer or by the developer. Then we make or calculate price lists only for a specific customer, only for the specific customer group, only for the specific website, only for the specific price list, because basically we may just recalculate knowing only the chain there. And we also have two flags that may be used, or the three flags that may not be used as the performance optimization. Depends on use case, whether we include dependent price list, whether we want to disable triggers for the database, which works only for in the enterprise version for the PostgreSQL, and whether we want to use insert from select and the standard select inserts. Again, depends on data. Insert from select may be faster in some cases. And a couple of best practices about the using pricing engine and how to deal with the prices in real life. We have some customers which use full copies of the price list instead of the fallbacks. Please use fallbacks, because it will first be, you will have a better performance. Second, it will be easier for you to handle them. Next recommendation, not create a separate price list only for one product. Combine them together instead. Again, the performance reason. The less price list you have, the less the joins application has to have, the better and faster it will work. Not create rules for the fixed values. Create fixed prices instead. Yes, when you are using the price rules, you may put this fixed value. Let me show you that. So let us say that we have some kind of dynamic price list, for example, this one, RP price -1. And what I can do here, I can put not the value like that, but just value, let's say 11 and 12, yeah? And it will work. There is just, okay. Oh, it will not work because I have to specify, it doesn't make sense in this case. So I have to put there the correct value. My mistake. We need here the unit, let's say item, the same thing here. Again, let's say item. Add application to refresh the prices. Yeah, and now what you can see prices only 11 and 12. So basically you are creating a fixed price, which is type generated. The problem here that every time you are changing dependent price list, dependent parameter, application has to calculate them from scratch. And it's obviously does not make any sense because the values are fixed. So it's better simply to add them as manual prices. In this case, you will have less issues with the pricing calculation. It will be done faster. Don't create rules to substitute fallbacks, use actual fallbacks. Yes, you may indeed create rules to check that some product is belong to some price list or some to create a relation between the price, between the product and the customer, and use the customer field in the product to set it for the specific price list. But it doesn't make any sense because application already has a fallbacks for it, and fallback again has much better performance. So pretty much all the issues mentioned on this page are performance related. So if you have lots and lots of price lists and lots of prices, which is a common use case for B2B, it's better to optimize them from the very beginning and do not do such mistakes. Yeah, talking about the amount of prices, you have to minimize number of price lists and manual prices as much as possible because these price list tables are used to perform joins, and the bigger tables you have, the bigger the joins will be. The more memory database will need to work with it, the longer it will take for application to process the prices and generate price lists. And as I have already mentioned, you have to specify price fallback strategy at the very beginning, because if you will change it later, application has to calculate all the combined price lists, which may take several hours to do that in case of lots of data in your database, lots of price in the database. Here we have linked the documentation. You may always check it. One more thing we can check right now is check the other system configuration options for the pricing. So here we can check the pricing section, and we have multiple options here set. First, we can enable or disable Oro pricing, which is just the way how it works. So if you do not want to have products, so you want to have prices in Oro at all, you may disable this feature, then it will be totally disabled. You may specify the pricing precision for the rounding. It's usually half up with 2 digits after the decimal dot, but you may change it. Default prices we have seen already. Price risk calculation, you may set the offset for the CPL prices. It usually makes sense for if you're using the schedules a lot. It means that the price lists in the schedules will be calculated 12 hours before the time will come. Again, if you have lots of prices, it may take some time. That is why we have this offset here. Price selection strategy we have checked already. Display currencies we have checked already. So these are the options which you may set for the pricing in system configuration. And maybe one more small thing from the developer point of view. There was a question about loading data from the file. Oro has a quite nice interface called product price provider interface. Here it is, or bundle pricing provider. This is an entry point for all the price extraction from the application. So let's say if you want to create to get prices from the different storage, from API, from file, from some kind of external storage, you may implement your own product price provider, replace the original one, this one or combined one, and that will be it. After doing that, your application is going to check your price provider instead of the standard system price provider. I think there was even documentation for that. Let me check it. Price strategy, I think it's on the storefront. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it looks like we have only the code reference here, but one way or another, we have an article which describes how to create a different pricing storage. Let me check it, price storage. Documentation. Yeah, I think it should be here somewhere. Set up a price storage. Yeah, this is it. So actually we have two interfaces. So this is one interface responsible for the price extraction, and the second interface is the product price storage interface responsible for the storage processing. So this one is works for the get prices, get support currencies. Another one works with the prices from the database. So if you want to keep the price database, you have to implement another interface of implementation of product price interface. If you want to have a different storage, you have to implement product price storage interface. So this is the difference between them. And I think that's all, guys. If you have some questions, feel free to put them in chat. Does the price provider run in real time determine the price? No. As we have already checked, there are two types of price lists, the standard price lists and the combined price list. So standard price lists are stored in a database and they are always in real time, and they make sense only for the management console. Every time application needs to get a price at the storefront, it searches for the appropriate combined price list, finds it, based on the fallbacks we have discussed, customer group, website, and global. And then this combined price list is used at the storefront to render some prices. So price fallback logic or price list merge logic is never calculated in real time. It's always calculated asynchronously, and the results or cached results are stored in the combined price list entities. Okay, guys, any other questions? Just to be clear, is there any way not to go through the CPL? You might override the standard engine and not use CPL, but in this case, you will lost the fallback functionality, you will lost the schedule functionality, you will lost the price rule functionality, and basically, I don't think it's making any sense. But if you really want to, you can do it. But perhaps in this case, it will simply better to implement your own storage and use it instead of the standard or storage interface. Go through the combined price list and do in real time. Combined price list is most calculated in real time. If you do not want to do it in real time, you want to do it like say one by one, you as a developer, of course, you have to override appropriate processor or disable appropriate processor. Make sure that your messages will be combined in some other case, and then let's say you might trigger full recalculation once a day. I think that will be the best solution in this case. It does not always make sense. It does not always true, But yeah, if you are absolutely sure that you do not need to calculate them immediately, not want to calculate them in real time, you may skip all the messages which this application sent to message queue, either to the price calculation or recalculation, and then simply trigger full recalculation once, let's say every night. Okay, looks like, okay, another question. So I can create my own dynamic price rules and use those prices on the website. My requirement is to match sub-source system. It really depends on your rules in your sub-source system. So if you want to, you can do it, but you have to replicate them exactly as they stored in the sub. There might be different approach. You may import the prices from sub using the CSV file, or you may implement your own storage and get prices from sub using the sub API. So here we have three solutions. First one is to replicate the logic on the Oro side. Second one is to import prices from sub, import combined prices from sub, sorry. And the third one is to use sub as a storage, or sub API as a storage, and get prices from sub in real time. Okay, no other questions? Neither in Q&A nor in chat. Okay, so John Farrell have final question. So I can create dynamic rule and storage, then recall the calculate rule at runtime. You may calculate not the rule, you may calculate only the price list, because rules is basically the rule how price list is built, and you may calculate either one price list or the specific group price list or all the price lists. Like, it depends on your use case, but yeah, you can do it. Just one more thing, a recalculation makes sense only for the combined price list, which is a part of ORM storage. And if you are going to use your own custom storage, in this case, you have to implement your calculation logic by yourself, because your calculation is a part of the built-in OroCommerce storage. And well, in this case, you will have no calculation because application is going to use it for your storage, because your storage has to tell application how and when to do a calculation. So basically, it will be responsibility of your storage to trigger a calculation in the proper time, the proper place, and so on. Okay, so looks like we have no other questions, guys. So then, thank you very much. Let me remind you that tomorrow we're going to have new topics. Two of them will be price related to. This one is promotions and discounts, and then the taxes. And we are also going to check what inventory options OroCommerce have in order to manage inventory in this application. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good day, and bye.